Mehron K. Next tutorial. This time I'm dressed up as the Joker from the Batman movie The Dark Knight, or more specifically I'm dressed up as the Joker in his bank robber disguise from the start of the movie. It's a bit random, but I was just watching the movie the other day and I just thought it might be a fun makeup to do. Why not? So yeah, not much else to say about this look really, other than if you'd like to learn how to recreate it, stay tuned. So to start off with, as always, I'm going to get rid of my eyebrows, so I'm going to block them out and also apply a plain latex bald cap. So I'll pop links on the screen here and here to the tutorials that I did to teach you guys how to do both those things in the past, just to make this video a bit shorter. So I'm going to get rid of all my hair and get back to you. This is actually one of the few looks where you can actually get away with not sticking the bald cap down at the back, just because his hair is poking out through the back, because it is a mask with a large forehead, basically. So, I mean, I'm going to stick everything down because I want this to be kind of a character rather than a mask, but it's just whichever effect you're going for. So there we are, so that's my bald cap applied and my eyebrows blocked out, and I've gone around the edge of my bald cap with 3 layers of liquid latex just to get rid of the edge. And now, in the usual style of my channel, I'm going to do an angry brow with some liquid latex and a sponge. So the idea is to go over my forehead with about 3 coats of latex, let it dry, and then I can build it up with some tissue. This isn't completely necessary if you don't want it to look as theatrical. I just like having that hooded, like, brow bone. It just makes the angriness look a bit more cartoony, which is the effect I really want to go for. So I'm going to do 3 coats and let that dry. So then I can take the sponge and do another layer, working mainly on the middle area, the V in the middle. Then taking the smaller strips of tissue, I can just push that down, remove the edges, and then coat that in latex. And the idea is to build that up for about maybe 7 coats, making it thinner on the edges. And then in between the layers, as it's drying, you can push it down with your thumbs to make it a tiny bit more frowny, and then just let it dry. So there we are, so nothing too heavy, just an angry brow. So then I'm going to take some Snazaroo Clown White and I'm going to apply that all over my face, my ears, my neck and my bald cap. If you're going to do it, it's just a mask. Obviously you don't have to do your neck, but as I'm going to make this a character, I am going to do my neck as well. Then I'm just going to powder all that with some Ben Nye setting powder in Super White. Then I'm going to take a black Snazaroo watercolour. I'm going to use that to start doing the contours of the face. So I need to make the jaw really, really masculine and low down, as it's very pouty face, this mask. So the reason I'm using a watercolour and not a cream is because I prefer powdering the white base so it doesn't transfer, and you can't really use cream over a powdered base, not in the amount that I want to use it. So it's easy for me just to apply it with watercolour, and then once I've got the structure I can take some more water and just blend that out. So I'll just time lapse through now just so I can see the rough structure of everything. So there's the super rough, just etchings of where I want the darkest points to be. So I've got the hollows of the cheeks, I've got around the nasal labial folds, which this bit here isn't really necessary because the mouth is going to be blue, but it's mainly the nose area, so I've made it a little bit wider just so I can have more of an area, surface area to paint the little red dot on. And I've got around the eyes just to make the eyes look more sunken in, and the temples, and yeah, the forehead. So the idea is to take a new brush and some water, only a tiny bit, and start manipulating the colour outwards away from where it needs to be its highest point. So for example here, I want this colour to be pulled downwards, but I want there to be an edge, so that's the deepest point. So there we are, so I'm going to go back to the forehead area for a minute because I think I need to draw on the eyebrows first to see exactly where the ridges need to be, but this is the general shape of everything else. So now I've done that, I can work on the mouth. So I'm going to take a sky blue watercolour by Snazaroo, and I'm just going to paint that on the inside of my mouth and following the shape of the nasal labial folds and then around. I'm going to stop just before the bottom of my chin so I can change the shape a little bit. Try not to go over your lips just yet. Then I can just take the white again, and I've just cleared a little area out under here just to paint the sad expression on. Then using the same blue, I'm going to draw on the eyebrows, which are quite high up, and they're very, very, very cartoony. They're very arched and curved, and they do taper off at the end as well, so very drag eyebrows, I love it. So then just to neaten things up and to add a highlight, I've just gone around the edge of the eyebrows I've drawn on with the white, just so that I know where to shade. So once I've gone around the whole thing, you can see there's like the gap in between there. I can just put the black watercolour in between this area here and then taper it off. But you can see the shape I've got for the eyebrows, so they're quite angry looking. Okay, I've done a couple extra little ridges above the eyebrow as well, just to show that it's a little bit more raised. Then I'm going to take a red watercolour by M.A.C. This is one of their Chromacakes, and the only reason I'm swapping between Snazaroo and M.A.C is M.A.C tend to do more vibrant colours, more vibrant pigments, and I just like their red. So I'm going to use that to paint around the eyes, on the tip of the nose, and 2 cheeks. Okay, just before I do the cheeks, just point out, so the eyes, it's fairly rounded, but it's tilted slightly upwards, not massively, but there's a slight hint of it like a cat eye there, so have them slightly tilted, just so the point's higher here. Then I'm going to take a Snazaroo black watercolour again, and I'm going to use that to paint on the lip line. So I'm going to go straight across and then dip down either side of where my actual lips are, trying to keep it still fairly centred in the white. So there we are, so just a little frown line. So then I'm going to take some Grimas black cream and a really sharp angle brush, and I'm using a cream now just because it can taper off and I haven't got to go over it, but I'm going to start weathering this a bit. So I'm going to do a few random scratch lines from on the forehead, a few on the cheek, and then I think I'm going to go over this with a little bit of black hairspray just to make it look a bit more dirty. So the idea is to really lightly stroke, then press down a tiny bit heavier, then lightly stroke it away again, just so the edges are tapered on, they're tapered away, and the cream really does make that a little bit easier. So then, as I said, really lightly with some black hairspray. You don't have to do this, you could use eyeshadow, it's just this is really a lot quicker, plus it does set everything. So I'm just going to really lightly, for arm's distance, just spray around the edge of this like a halo, just so it makes it more like it's peering out the front, and then I can go once down the middle, really lightly. Then I'm going to take a gel eyeliner by Maybelline in black. This is the Eyestudio Lasting Drama gel eyeliner, so it's safe for the waterline. And I'm just going to go once over the waterline and the tight line of my eyes, so the top and bottom waterline, just so when I put my contact lenses in they look really dark. Should point out actually, I'm going to use black sclera lenses for this just to look more mask-like, but if you haven't got those, you can always, I'm not a massive fan of painting over the eyelids to make eyes work, but if you want to, you could just paint your eyelid black in between the red so it looks like your eyes are open, but that's your call. So then all that's left to do is pop in my contact lenses, my costume, and I think I'm done. And there we go, so that's the look complete. So I finished the look off, as I said, by popping in 2 black sclera lenses, which are from eyesbright.com. Pop the link in the description bar below, as always. The costume is just a really old blaze that I had lying around, and the shirt that I actually used from my Texas Chainsaw Massacre tutorial, just because it's a very similar pattern to the film. So yeah, I want to pop on some black gloves as well. So yeah, I hope this is okay. I hope I did the look justice to you guys. If you like it, please make sure to know the usual. Rate, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, because it super helps me out. And yeah, so until next time, bye.